is on the way, and with PvE will come a lot of lore, including some background stories. In this video I'm listing the top 3 intriguing heroes in Overwatch, and the little that we know about their mysterious past. Let's dive in. Hey guys, I'm Damesies from the Omnic Post. The one big feature for Overwatch 2 that a lot of people are waiting on is PvE. Partly because of the gameplay of course, but also, and for some people mostly, because of all the potential lore. There is definitely going to be a lot of future lore, where Blizzard further develops the story of all of our heroes and all of the villains. But hopefully we'll also learn more about the past of some of these characters. We do know quite a lot about most of them. There are a few whose history is shrouded in mystery. Which rhymes. So I wanted to pick my top 3 of most intriguing heroes. Characters that we know very little about, or that seem to be bamboozling us. And I'm going to do them in the order of least to most intriguing. Now the idea is not to do a deep dive on the lore that we know. I have lore videos for that. Talking about lore videos, there is a new one coming this weekend about Anna. So make sure to subscribe. Now while Anna is definitely intriguing in her own way, and she does have a few shady spots in her history, she is not part of this top 3. Someone that is though is Sombra. We know that Olivia, aka Sombra, grew up in Dorado as an orphan. She lost both of her parents during the Omnic crisis. She later joined the Les Muertes gang and eventually ended up with Talon, which kinda sounds like a rather straightforward career path for let's say any 1930s criminal. But Sombra, she's a top level operative. She's a hacker, a cryptologist, and one of the best in the world. First off, this is not a skill you gain by just watching YouTube videos in the orphanage. And second, with a skill set like that, why would you join Talon or Les Muertes? I feel like a part of her history went missing, which is kind of convenient because she is a hacker. And she's a hacker that is part of Talon, but she has her own agenda. For instance, when she gets asked to help assassinate Katya Volskaya, she ends up making a deal with Katya. Ever since Baptiste left Talon, she has kept an eye on him, but she never betrayed him. She is very protective over Sigma, even if she was part of the team that captured him. Look, she might not be an angel, and she definitely caused a fair share of grief, but she seems to have a good heart. I mean, she's a good person. I don't know, I'm not a doctor. What do I know about a heart? I think she's a better person than any of the other Talon operatives. And the reason that she's working for Talon is because she wants to use their resources. But what for? What is her end goal? That piece of information that we're missing on her history is going to be the key to the puzzle. What happened to her? Who did it to her? And what is her plan? The number 2 on my list is also a lady. A support lady. Well, support, kinda depending on who you ask. Moira. Is Moira an obvious choice in this top 3? Maybe. Her whole demeanor and her philosophy is intriguing by itself. Moira is unapologetic. She's evil. Well, she basically is a bit of a c***. And just like Sombra, she has her own agenda. It looks like her agenda is kind of aligned with Doomfist. And she definitely does not try to hide her motives. She might have a separate agenda, but it's not secret at all. She loves experimenting with people. Well, on people. She messes with nature. She thinks that she's smarter than nature. Well, she thinks that she's smarter than everyone, no matter the consequences. But what got her to this point? A place where she has no emotional attachments, where she degrades everybody to an experiment. Is Moira a psychopath? Or is it the genius that sacrificed her humanity for the greater good? She probably thinks the second one, but I'm convinced that it is going to be the first one. Now, I don't believe that anybody's born a psychopath, so what pushed her over the edge? I don't know, maybe one of her relatives died to a weird disease, although that would be a little too easy. But something definitely made her into the Moira that we know today, and whoever did it should not be too proud about it. But I still want to know. Now my number 1 on this list is one of her colleagues, although maybe it's more one of her tools, Sigma. Sigma's introduction to the Overwatch universe and his origin story, for as far as we know, was one of the best things Blizzard ever did, in my opinion at least. And sure, we do know quite a lot about his history. He's a Dutch genius scientist that worked with quantum mechanics that was manipulating gravity, but that went insane after a failed experiment. It's Batman 101. But then again, it's not. He did not fall in a pool of acid, or he wasn't freezing his wife, for as far as we know. He was experimenting with gravity and black holes. And he came out of that experiment cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Now the thing is, what intrigues me the most about Sigma is that he might zone out occasionally, and that he starts listening to imaginary music. But he has these moments of clarity where he is present, really present, and that's the moment he demolishes the enemy team. What I think is that good old Sibrin might have turned himself into a multi-dimensional being. I think that his experiment with black holes and gravity spread his presence over thousands of dimensions. Which allows him to tap into the power of these thousands of dimensions. But it also confuses the living daylight out of him. He's like a ping pong ball, coming from one dimension to the other. He is basically lost at this point. At least that is my theory. But I think we can all agree that something happened to this man. Something that took away his sanity and his shoes. Now, while I'm quite hopeful that one day he'll regain his sanity, I'm not that hopeful about his shoes. But he might turn out to become Overwatch's own Mr. Manhattan, one of the most powerful creatures in the universe, and it's going to be glorious. But that was my top 3 of most intriguing heroes in Overwatch though. The 3 characters I'm most anxious to learn more about. Well, for now. Who knows what other heroes they're going to throw at us in the coming months or years. But what do you think? Which heroes are you most intrigued with? Let me know in the comments. Join me during my streams on twitch.tv/DamesTV and make sure to subscribe for more updates on Overwatch.